Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Four Dads Podcast with Don Julio and myself, Tieds. Today we got a few things on the docket that we didn't really talk about last podcast that we had that dropped on Tuesday, but the Worldwide Technology Championship just happened last weekend in Mexico. And I think over the last 2 years, that's been like Victor Hovland's that he's won, right? That's technically been the one that he won, or is that a different one?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure.
They usually only play one in Mexico, right? Besides like Cabo or one of those tournaments.
What's it called again?
They have a Bahamas one, the Worldwide Technology Championship. I think that's normally it. Let's see. While Julio's looking this up, I remember two of the wins that Victor had before he started getting big and started winning more tournaments this last year. Those were the ones that he had won. I think the issue was he had never won in the United States, but he had won in Mexico a few times. But it was kind of crazy because while Julio, again, is looking that up, Erik van Rooyen won the tournament. I think he's from South Africa. No, I know he's from either Europe or Africa. And it's crazy because when Julio and I were at, what was it? The Pro-Am, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. You remember when we were walking down that par 5 and the guy on the cart path on the par 5, that was Erik van Rooyen getting ready for a shot before they're about to start up the second round.
I was going to say, did you know where he was from? I think he's from South Africa.
That's what I said. I think South Africa. I'm not sure. I think so.
You froze, so that's why I was like, oh, bummer.
Yeah, you just got to roll with it. With it. It's been happening a little bit too much over the last few episodes, but he won at 27 under. And he had a one-shot win, which I looked it up, and I did some math using my calculator. It's about an average of 6.5 under, 6.75 under a round, which is insane for a PGA Tour course.
Have you played Diamante?
Bro, I haven't played outside of California, so no.
Sorry, but, I was going to say so it's a Tiger Woods design course.
Mm-hmm.
I played it twice when I went to Cabo in 2020, and then when Isis and I went back in 2021, I think, or 2022. It's not a tough course.
Really,
it's definitely gettable. But what it is you got to know where the water's at, which is obviously it's surrounded you, right? So, but whatever direction the hole is, you have to know where it is because the ball really takes off towards the water. So there's a tee shot on number 4 that you're looking out towards the ocean, and your ball will legitimately roll 40, 60 yards. It's crazy. It just takes off wants to go towards the water.
No way.
What's tough on some of those holes is your approach shots. You have to hit at least a club less to land it and get it to just kind of roll out. The caddies out there are awesome. But dude, isn't that the same course that guy, Matt, the dude from Good, didn't he just make a hole in one there or something like that?
Yeah. On that par 4, which, I saw someone actually make a video about it might have been made up, as in they might have it might have been fake because it kind of drops off and there's no one over on the other side, and they get there and they're like, oh, the ball's in the hole. It wasn't one of those that you could see it from the hole, from where the tee shot is to where it was.
Yeah.
And some people were like, I don't know. Usually they have people in the back, always checking that last par 4 that he got the hole in one in. There was 3 camera guys in the back that had a video recording and everything. And
that was their first time playing it though. So I'm not sure.
Well, I know, but the thing is, trust me, I think that they did get it. But with the Bryan bros, I think George Bryan just got a hole in one that week before, and apparently two of their camera guys didn't have their passports, or there's an issue with that. And everyone's like, dude, you guys were just in the UK. How are your passports bad? What was the issue? There's no way. So some people are speculating that they might have made it up just to kind of overhype what that was, to kind of take over that. But regardless, it was apparently it was a 360 par 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And if you see Sharp's swing, he does not have a rip it and grip it swing like you do, where you're okay, you got all of it. This guy has a 3/4 swing. You're telling me that even if that's the course, so you said if it'll roll 40 yards, that thing went straight, bounced right like 50 yards. It was insane.
Well, so that kind of speaks to what I said. Like the water's behind them, and it takes off towards it. But still, I mean, I watched the video. I mean, it seemed pretty legitimate and sharp. Like
Yeah.
when they did the whole thing with TaylorMade, or I'm sorry, Callaway. When they did the whole thing with Callaway, and they had him on the TrackMan. I mean, he definitely produces some ball speed. I mean, he gets his club speed up there. And again, it's not like how fast you are from here. It's literally from hip through. Is where your power comes from. And so, yeah, man. I mean, it's it looks violent for me because I'm just a big dude, but like a guy like him, I'm not shocked. I mean, it's the same thing with Garrett. Like Garrett apparently can really put some work on the ball. I know he gets it up there at like 191 ball speed sometimes, and that's impressive. I mean, but those dudes are strong. I mean, Bubby getting up to 200, I'm not surprised. Like Bubby is. Yeah, but again, I mean, like that's still pretty amazing. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful course, dude. Like,
of course, it looks great, and I mean, I heard some PGA Tour players that were not happy about it. I mean, I don't know if you saw that clip that that someone hit a great shot and like it literally rolled all the way off the green into the hazard, and like apparently people were like, yeah, like they need to do a better job picking these courses.
No,
because I guess it's a newer-ish one.
It is. It's only been around. It's only been around for a few years.
Which I haven't played it. I don't have any dog in the fight. I mean, it obviously looks like a beautiful course, but you know, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because you don't really hear people say that at even the TPC Deer Run. You know, like no one really says that.
Yeah.
Or is it Deer Run? Or is it John Deere TPC? Is it Deer Run? You know the one I'm talking about in Illinois, where they have like the TPC John Deere. The John Deere tournament or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what the name of that one is.
But yeah, so yeah, I just thought that was crazy because we didn't really talk about it on the last podcast. We were talking about all this other stuff that you know. When you looked it up, was that the one that Victor Hovland had won previously the last like few years?
Yeah.
Was that the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that was his moneymaker. I don't even know if he was in the field for that because there weren't too many big names, honestly. Bo Hostler, I think, was probably one of the bigger ones, and he won 15. Kramer Hickok, Pat Kazire, Ben Griffin.
Victor Hovland. Yeah, Victor Hovland won that one in 2020, 2021, and then Russell Henley 2022, and then Eric for 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then what's coming up this weekend that I definitely wanted to talk about because it's, at least in my opinion, it's becoming more of the talk of the YouTube golf world. And I've been watching these guys for the last like week and a half, like all their videos. It's just really entertaining, really good golf. These two guys called Bryan Bros Golf. Bryan brothers, their last names are Bryan. One's George Bryan, the fourth. I'm a fourth as well, so represent. He's the older brother. Mm-hmm. I'm the fourth.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I hide it well, you know. Don't have like that tattooed on my chest or anything like that, or my forehead for anyone to see.
No regrets. It's my credo.
But
not even a single letter.
Yeah. But these guys, they both play. They're both from South Carolina. They both played at University of South Carolina. George is older, and his younger brother Wes Bryan, Wes Bryan, excuse me. He plays on the PGA Tour. He's about 4 years younger. He won the RBC Heritage Classic that's played in South Carolina. I believe the tournament after the Masters back in like 2017 for like his only tour win. And his brother had just started a YouTube series of trying to get out of Q School and make it on the Korn Ferry Tour. That's like his goal right now. And I think he just passed the second stage on to the third stage. And this guy's been playing like some great golf, and it's really cool to watch. And honestly, I was getting like really, really tense watching the final holes because like it was coming down to the wire and he was getting a couple bogeys and then he had a birdie the last hole and he had a long, and it was just like, this is crazy. Like, I'm also pulling for the guys because they're also dads. One has like a 2-year-old daughter. The other one has like two girls, and their girl dad's just like Don Julio. But it's just cool to see, you know, that aspect of it, of YouTubers. Usually you see the Garrett and the younger guys who aren't married, aren't have kids or anything like that. You know, they're just single guys living the dream. And it's cool to see this aspect of it. And George Bryan got hooked up with a sponsor's exemption to the Butterfield Bermuda Classic or Championship this weekend from Wes. I forget who exactly is sponsoring him, but it'll be his first PGA Tour event, which I think is really, really cool for a YouTuber side of things, because you don't see a Grant Horvat on the tour or anything like that. And I think his brother is honestly pretty capable.
Yeah, dude. I've watched the Bryan Bros for a long time. I mean, even when they were doing stuff with like Dude Perfect and some of those guys, like those guys can play. Man, what a luxury it must be to like have kids, but then still be able to get after it with like golf. I mean, obviously you built your business through YouTube and you know, you built your
full-time job. Take it as a job, right? Just take it as like you're gone for 8 hours or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, it's like, I don't know, that must be so cool. I mean, I admire that. Like even with Micah Morris, right? Like Micah's out playing golf and just ditched his 9 to 5 ultimately to like go do all that stuff, you know? And it's like, man, like I wish I was like, I would love to be in a position to go do that. You know? I mean, just to go suck on a big stage, like dream. No, I'm just kidding.
Who wouldn't, right? But I mean, like, if you think about it, in the closest retrospect to that, besides, I guess you would like you just said, Micah Morris, who's doing that on the YouTube spectrum. He's younger. He is married, but Fat Perez, I feel like he legitimately just came out of nowhere. He literally was working, I think, as like an accountant, married. You know, that was just what he just golfed for fun. You know, he had and he still does, obviously. But he left his job to do this, and talk about security as an accountant. I mean, like those jobs are never going to go anywhere. People are always going to need accountants.
Yeah.
But for him to be able to do that, it obviously shows that it's possible. One day, Fore Dad's Golf's going to get there, baby. But it'll probably be like in 2030 when our kids are about to graduate high school, or 2040. And we can't swing where we're getting like 100. Like 90 club head speed.
I don't think. I mean, I think it could happen sooner. You know, it's just like you know, going into what we were about to talk about this weekend, right? Like this is going to be our first playing video in God knows how long. Like
it's our first playing video for Fore Dad's Golf
ever. Yeah, for Fore Dad's Golf ever. I mean, when we first started Upside Golf, you know, I mean, we were talking about that at Riverside, and then we continued to talk about it at God, I forget the name.
Solano, Rancho Solano.
Yeah, Rancho Solano.
2021, right? I mean, right? I think it was May 2021.
Yeah, and here we are, 2023, and this is going to be our first video at Dragonfly.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know what to expect. I've honestly, like in my free time, I've been looking at videos on YouTube of the layout of the course. I've been watching our own videos and taking a look at what you're doing, and I'm just like, how would I play that? Like, should I go 2-iron? Like,
right.
And then I'm super excited about, you know, just to be down. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been to Fresno, and it's gonna be good to see you. Going to be good to see, you know, my buddy Corey, who's hell of a golfer, who's going to be joining us, and I think LeBron's buddy Martin Fabian. I think he'll be there too, and then apparently Bronze might show up too. So we'll see. You know,
we're gonna have some commentary.
It'll be good to kind of get the boys all together and have some fun, and we can get out there and do our thing. And I mean, what do you have envisioned for how we're going to play this? Am I going to play the back tees and you play from like the blues? And I don't know. What are we going to do here?
Yeah, I mean, so my vision is for us to play a 2-man scramble for the front 9. Warm up, get comfortable, you know, get together, get good. Try to shoot a low score. Whether it's probably the blues, probably play from the blues for that. And then the back 9, I would like to potentially do a match play. For the match play, you are the one that understands more of the strokes and things like that. For like, let's just say, I don't know, give myself a six handicap just for and I don't know what that stroke would equal, whether, you know, that would be a stroke a hole or a particular hole or whatever. I'm sure I feel like you know how to do that. You understand how to do that for the hole, which is great because I have no idea. That's what's awesome about this thing. It's a joint where we do this together. But I feel like whatever it is, if I get a stroke or not, it's cool. But I feel like that would probably be the best route for us to go for that on matchmaking on the back half. What do you think about that? Obviously, again, we're in this together. That works.
I think that sounds legit. I mean,
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Do you have a legitimate handicap?
No, I would just say, I mean, it's anywhere from like a 5 to an 8. So I definitely don't have like a specific one, but whether we go with a 6 or a 7, it doesn't really matter to me. I just know I'm not in the pluses.
I'm at a 0. So
oh no,
yeah, I'm at a 0. So it's nice because, like I told you, for all my men's clubs group, I'm giving strokes back.
Yeah, dude. I was talking with one of my buddies over at Dragonfly on Monday, and I was like, I heard that like if you want a chance to win any tournaments and they play with handicaps, just play with a couple 20 handicap dudes, and you're gonna win like almost every single time. And I'm like, it's the stupidest rule ever because it should make it fair. It shouldn't make it even because they're not even playing even. They have such an advantage.
Oh yeah,
and it's. In my opinion, it's dumb. Do I know how to fix it? No, but it's got to be possible. We're in the 21st century here. I mean, like, come on. There's got to be a way to maybe at least do it for a few holes, not all of them, to at least give other people a chance because, hey, just because you're good doesn't mean you should not be able to win certain events because of handicap and people that suck. Like, come on.
Well, that's like that tournament that, unfortunately, I didn't take my GoPro, and the guys that I was playing with were very, very serious about playing, and so I was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to get any film. But
screw you, bro.
But we played. My mom's coworker invited me to come and play the Daly City PAL tournament over at Lake Merced in San Francisco, which is a phenomenal course. Obviously, it's been around longer than. Has it been around longer? I think it has been. I think it's been around longer than Olympic, but Olympic outshines it for sure.
Right.
I mean, it's the tournament where they host the Swinging Skirts, tournament in San Francisco. They redid it apparently. Great course. I mean, we played legit as a group, but the thing is like, yeah, we had 2 guys on our team who were 15 handicaps. Here I am as a 0, and my buddy Jimmy, who is like a 2, and we were given like luckily we had 2 guys who were 15 because it helped us get pops, right? But also too was like, why would you do a best ball format or foursome or for best ball tournament, but then give strokes? Like, everyone's taking the best shot. Right. So obviously your stakes are going to come in clutch. They're going to get you deep off the box. Then hopefully stick it close. But then you got the other guys who can hopefully roll a putt. You don't need strokes for that. And then on top of that, they're selling mulligans. So if you miss a putt, then
I heard those.
Back. Yeah, and I'm like, this is cool. Like, obviously, all the money and the proceeds are going to a great cause. It's you're raising money for the PAL, which. My dad was a part of the PAL. I was in the PAL system when I lived out here in the Bay Area for a little while, or not when I was younger. I was born here before I moved to Fresno. But still, it's like, I was like, man, like, there's gonna be some crazy low scores. I mean, we came in second with a legit, like, we shot 27 under as a group, but then there, like, the winning score was like 35, and we saw these dudes were in front of us, or two groups ahead of us. They couldn't even get off the tee box. And I'm like, how
much for the mulligans?
$20 I think for 6 of them.
What?
Or no, I'm sorry, for eight.
What?
Yeah,
for
so
8
each person
mulligans?
can go in and buy them. Yeah, each person
can
go in and buy
them. Give me a couple $100. I'll show up, and I don't have to show up. I'll just like tee it off here, take a stroke from the fairway after teeing it up, like illegally. Be like, that's all right, it's a mulligan. I'm good. That's ridiculous, dude. I mean, I have heard that, and I'm starting to see it a lot more with those out of context videos that you see at golf tournaments where, like, 35. Who shot a 35 on a 72 on a 4-man scramble? You know, and they're like showing the cards, and then someone comments, "Oh, like it was like every beer you drank, you know, you dropped a stroke, or you know, like you could buy mulligans or all this stuff." Where it's like, oh, well, that makes sense now, instead of like, oh, this was their legitimate score where they had 8 hole-in-ones, 3 albatrosses and an eagle, and you're like, what? But it's like, oh yeah, well, we just drank like crazy. And like I've seen some of them too. Like I just saw one a few days ago with someone that shot like a 48. They brought in a 48. That was apparently their score. And the guy who took the whatever the prize was, like it was like a gift card or something. The dude was like 400 pounds, and there's no way you could swing. And he just goes, and someone's like, yeah, they were banned after that. They were not allowed at. And I'm like, why? Like, what's the point of banning them? In my opinion, let them come back, but just don't like cancel off their chance to win it this time. Like that just everyone knows that they cheated, but they just but they're banned. Okay, like tell them, screw you, dude. Like you're not winning. You just wasted your money and you played golf. Like.
Or, like what they do for hole-in-ones, have somebody out there watching, see if they
A lot
do
of
it
the holes
legitimately.
do. A lot of the holes do. They just have someone there at the tee box, right?
Well, when you have legitimate, what is it? When you have legitimate sponsors who are out there with their booths and stuff, like, yeah, then you could see, but most people will just buy a hole. They'll just buy a hole and then do their thing. So, yeah. Or post a little placard or whatever of like, oh, this is this company's hole, or
right, where there's no one out there. They just exactly.
Yeah.
No, so, I mean, because I feel like I haven't played in any tournament like that before. I would love to, but I feel like no matter how good you are, there's always going to be someone that either lies or is just insanely good. Majority of the time, it'll probably be a lie. But like one where you see like, oh, like 2 of those kids played at like Fresno State, one played at UCSB, and one's on the Corn Ferry Tour. Okay, I get that. Like we had no freaking chance. I even think I was watching a video with the Bryan Bros. They did one of their Bryan Bros tournaments where they had like a scramble, and they did a 2-man scramble just with them instead of a 4-man, and they ended up coming in second place, like 13 under or something. And it was freaking insane, dude. Yeah. Just watching them play, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm super excited for this weekend. I've been telling Corey, and obviously now I'm telling you, I'm just happy to get out there. Like I wish I was able to play a few more rounds in the last couple of weeks to kind of like stay with my game, but we'll see.
I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you don't. I love it. I need all the help I can get, man.
But we'll see.
There's a chance.
Yeah, there's always a chance. It comes down when you're on the putting green.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Even if it was just you and I, it'd be a lot of fun. But I mean, now that we're gonna maybe have some chirping or some commentary from Fabian, I think I played a little bit of what was it, Halo with him and Bronze once, and I'm sure they were happy I was like not playing anymore because these guys were playing on freaking what was it? What's the mode where like it was like you don't get like what's that map? You can't see the map at all. It might have been the hardcore, but there's a SWAT. The SWAT.
Oh yeah,
SWAT hardcore, where it's like you don't get a map. It's like a 1-shot kill, and they're just like calling off the locations of where they are, and I'm like, what the heck, dude? Like, how do you know where you are? Like, these guys obviously are doing this in real life too, because he's a cop too, right? Fabian's a cop.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it'll be good to see Bronze, because I think he tore his ACL back in like February or something, right?
Yeah.
So he should be on the road to recovery pretty close. So yeah, I mean, it'll be good to get the gang back together. I don't think you, me, and Bronze have been together besides his baby shower since
forever.
I think before that, all 3 of us together, if I'm not mistaken, was like it was the 2010.
Yeah, 2011. I think it was the big party that I threw at my house at 2010 when you guys came down from SLO.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's the first time I met you, I think, right?
Yeah, because Cox was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, like everybody was there. Mark, Edgar, all those guys. So I mean, I think that's when it was. And then what? And then you and I played. No, we didn't play golf. Yeah, we did. We played the golf round at Fig, and that was shit. Was that like right when you and Stephanie started dating? Almost. Yeah, it was, huh?
Well, it was definitely in the beginning, but it was when I first moved out to Fresno. You found out that I worked at a golf shop as well, and you're like, "Yo, you must golf." So when I come back into town, let's play. Yeah, and I felt so bad. I remember when, like we golfed, we had a great time, and then like you kept on like hitting me up, "Hey, let's go," and I felt so bad because I'm like, I would love to do, but like I'm not getting any hours, and I'm like I'm not making any money, and it's just I would love to, but and then we finally, I think back in 2020, when the whole golf world like just everyone got into it again, I was like, hey, you want to golf when you come back into town? We need to go. Oh no, you saw me at I think I posted something like I'm playing golf again. You're like, hey, we got to get around again. I was like, let's do it, and then we played Riverside and like 110 degrees.
That was insane, dude.
Oh,
I mean, I've played golf in some tough weather. I think the worst one was when me and my buddy Tony went and played 36 holes at Silverado for the first time, because one of his guys that he gave a lesson to lives on the South Course. He brought us out, bro. It was we got up crack of dawn to go play. Yeah, we got up crack of dawn to go play. So we teed off at 7. It was nice and cool. Then all of a sudden, 10 o'clock hit, and it's like 105 degrees. No wind.
In Napa?
I mean, in Napa, no wind. It was toasty. Then all of a sudden, like, we're drinking beers. We're, we get the burger dog. Like, the sun is getting hotter. So now we're going to water, and we're scavenging to get water. We're like, where's the cart girl? Yeah, literally. And then, man, dude, then by the time we finish the north, it's now like 1:15. What, like, the heat it's heating up, and then he's like, dude, I don't know about you, man, but he's like, I think I can do it. I'm like, all right, you want to go to the south? I was like, let's go to the south. And man, it was a struggle. And then we get in the car, and like, we're just so heat exhausted. We go down to downtown Napa. We go to this place called oh my God, I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a sushi restaurant. Like, dude, it was a struggle for us to like have our food, like drinking water, then to have all that salt with the soy sauce and everything is like struggle. Then we drove like 30 minutes back towards like I think it was his mother-in-law's house. That house is toasting hot, and then like we partook in some extra
curricular activities.
Yeah, so curricular activities, and then we started watching the movie Chips, and like, dude, we went to the store and got like a crap ton of ice cream. We got like Slurpees and all this stuff. Then we just passed out on like these couches that are like probably no bigger. They were like 4 feet across. Like I like slept with like my head like this, and then he.
Yeah, you're like, I don't even care. I'm just so tired,
dude. It was insane.
Man.
Yeah, but man, that was a fun day of golf though. Like I came across those videos on my computer, and I was like, dude, I was ripping the ball that day.
Yeah, man. I still remember when we played at Riverside, and it was really freaking hot. And it was one of the guys, we got paired up with a single, and it was like this guy's birthday. And I still remember he was like, yeah, I just got a Starbucks drink, got a free like Venti or Trenta or whatever for my birthday. And you're like, oh yeah, happy birthday. Like, let's, I'll get you a drink at the turn, and you got like a tall boy for me, and you got him something. And I remember like we were driving the cart, and like when you go in a bumpy area with like alcohol, like, and it just starts bubbling like crazy. I'm like, oh crap. So like I just end up downing my beer, the whole thing. And I don't drink too much, like I'll drink when socially, but I'll have a beer from there. Browns have a bad loss, I'll have a few, but like I don't drink too consistently. And man, from like holes like 10 and 11, I was just like very, very tipsy. And I was like, this is like the best round of my life right now, and like legitimately on the scorecard, like I am not gonna f this up. So I down the rest of my water.
I remember.
I was like, I gotta sober up, man. I know I'm a lightweight. I don't care. Thank you for the beer. I had my fun, but I somehow like parred a hole and bogeyed another. I was like, I don't know how I did that, but I can't just keep.
You made a hell of a par. You made a hell of a par on number 10. I remember. Actually, you hit a really good drive, but you like lipped the putt. Number 11, we get to the tee box, and you're like, this is my nemesis. I hate the way that this hole lines up. And then I think you put it up like on like the hill. I think you put it up on the hillside or something like that. And you're like, I don't even want to go up there. And I was like, just put it down wherever you want. And then you end up going up there and you get it out like miraculously. Then you're in that right side bunker, hit a good shot, miss your chip or miss your putt, and then tap in for bogey. Oh, then you tapped in for bogey. Did I freeze again?
Yep. You definitely froze. Okay. You definitely froze. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I probably missed the punchline. You were probably laughing.
I just remember I told you to bring the ball down. You're like, no, gotta play. So you go up on the hill and you hit like a great shot, but you block it to the right and it goes in that right side bunker on the green side. You hit a good chip shot, but it's like 10 feet going back uphill. You hammered it by, and then you just tapped in your bogey, and you're like, I guess I could have been worse. I was like, yeah, it could have. And then 12,
dude, you're like,
got in trouble.
Yeah, 12. No, 12 is the one that I hate the most because I think that one, it's very
12. You ended up back on 11.
Where I always feel like I don't have. It's like it's dog-leg left, and I feel like the trees that are straight away are closer than they really are, and it really gets in my head. Yeah. And then majority of the time I like hook my drive into that freaking hill and I'm like, crap.
13 is the one that gets in my head because I'm like, don't go left. You never go left. Like, why would you even think of going left? And then all of a sudden
left.
Yeah, then all of a sudden I hit the train as it's coming by.
Yo, man, dude, the freaking train every time.
Every time, dude.
Dude, you got the freaking you're like the what's the Rams head coach? What's his name? What's that Rams head coach? LA Rams. McVay. You're like the Sean McVay of like golf. Like you remember everyone's shot,
right? It's McVay, right?
And like Sean McVay, you can tell him a
McVay.
You're right. Yeah, you're like the Sean McVay of like golf. We're like, oh yeah, what did I shoot on the 9th hole, Julio? Like, you remember the shot for shot? You're like, oh yeah. You hit about like 260, a little bit to the left, and then like you blocked your shot to the right. It's like 3 years ago. And like you ask Sean McVay, like, hey, what happened in like, week 14, 2018? We're playing against the Cleveland Browns, and let's see, fourth quarter, it was 3rd and 3, and we ran a sweep, just lays out the freaking play. And you're like, what the heck, dude? You're not human. How do you know that? You weren't even prepared for this. Like, it's just, yeah.
You just remember good times. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Is like, for his, I mean, everything is analytical, right? But like, for me, it's just like, dude, that was a good time. Like, I don't,
Heck yeah.
It's always been fun. I mean, especially when you're doing something fun, you just tend to remember things a little bit more.
Heck yeah, dude. But yeah, I feel like for the sake of the pod, I feel like, is there anything else that we were going to talk about? I think that was pretty much it, right? That we're pretty much.
Yeah.
The Bermuda Championship's coming up. I mean, we will say that potentially one person that might be joining the podcast within the next few weeks could be playing at this Bermuda Championship. They aren't the Bryan Bros, but that's one thing that I'm also looking forward to as well. I'm going to be following them as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't want to, jinx anything, but it's looking really good. But yeah, I feel like within, I think probably by next Friday at the latest, not 2 days Friday, but in a week and 2 days Friday, you'll be seeing a front nine or one of the videos posted, and I can't wait to edit them, put them together, chop them up. We're gonna have a golf cart cam. We're gonna see how well the microphone works when we're taking our shots. to see if like you can hear us and things like that. Instead of me or Julio, both of us. No, I'm not going to be using those. I'm going to be using the media mod itself with the microphone on top of it. So we're going to see how that works, because those microphones don't work as well and they aren't consistent. And the battery power wouldn't last for like the whole freaking 18 holes or even 9. So we shall see on that. But again, thank you guys for keeping up with us. I know we've been somewhat consistent. I know this week we did 2 podcasts. We're up to about 245 subs on YouTube. I'm really hoping to push past that 300 mark once our videos drop of our videos together. I think those will do pretty well, honestly. And again, always thanks for supporting us. Thanks for showing us love. And don't forget to stay fly and go low. And we'll see you next time.